several large, several of the big cloud providers already have this stuff rolled out. Google has it rolled out, Amazon, Microsoft. Our online services work in exactly the same architecture as I just showed you for the enterprise, and it's simply an extension of the same thing. So there has been a tremendous simplifying principle, and that's what would allow someone ultimately to be able to develop an application that could run either in the enterprise or in the cloud. And that is the starting point, in my view, for successful applications, is the ability of people to transport them between different places and decide at deployment time where they want to run them, rather than being locked in to some provider or another. And there's been significant progress around information cards. The Information Card Foundation includes, a lot of really serious players, including people who are involved in consuming identity, like PayPal and people who are involved in sort of traditional financial identity, like Equifax. And if you go to informationcard.net, one of the things you'll see is a list of featured information card projects, and this I'm told is going to be updated all the time. And one of the things you'll find in there is an initiative by the U.S. General Services Administration. It's a demonstration of using information cards that are issued by Equifax in order to log in to government sites. So very interesting things evolving there. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about futures. I just want to check my time here. Have I got 5 minutes here or 4? Okay, we're going to go really fast. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a bit of a discussion about secure minimal disclosure tokens. I believe this privacy thing is absolutely key to getting this right. I think everybody probably knows that deep down, so I'm not going to dwell on it. The way the minimal disclosure tokens work is the identity provider creates a set of tokens, provides them, these are electronic assertions, if you want, like certificates, gives them to the user. The user is able to keep them on their device or their machine. Later, when the user wants to go to a relying party, the relying party says something like, prove that you're over 21 and from Washington. And what happens is, because that's all that's requested, everything else is just blanked out. And all that's sent is the proof that you're over 21 and the fact that you're from Washington, for example. And what happens here is that the identity provider and the relying party, the technology is such that there are no correlation handles for linking the party to something which isn't specified in the token. So there's no hidden mechanisms, claptrap, keys, certificates, or anything else. All there is the content of the token. This is a huge step forward for us. And I'm going to give you a little example, which is a person has a relationship with a ISP, and they want to prove that they want to be able to use the ISP. The ISP wants them to prove that they're a legitimate user, and have paid their bill and so on. So I'm going to give you a little, I recorded this morning so that I'd be able to do it on time. Here you see the information card coming up, and when the person presses the show me what's in what will be sent, you'll see it says ISP member is true. So that's the only claim that will go to the hotspot. The hotspot now has allowed this person to come back in as a user. So now the person is logged in. And what's interesting there is that was possible. I know that looks really trivial, and this is like a non-demo. But it's really hard because at the moment you're linking to the ISP, you don't have connectivity. And you don't have the ability to to use certificates and so on in the normal fashion. And yet it's able to handle that case. So this is research. I'm sort of just sharing research that we're working on as part of the next generation, and others are working on the same things, the PRIME project here in Europe. But I find this extremely interesting. So the next thing is that the person wants to get an EID card. They've been to the driver's license bureau, and while they were there, they got a little voucher with a number on it. So now they can go to, I'm from BC in Canada, so I'm using the British Columbia government here. They take what's on their voucher, they type it in, and they get an information card. They can install that in their machine. Okay, now they've got that. So, next, they decide that they're going to go and they want to get a birth certificate. So they go to the birth certificate relying party. Now note, when you go to get a birth certificate, you're not anonymous or anything. There's you know, what you're doing really is fully visible, and yet you still can use the same technology, and it works in a very similar way. So I'm visiting the Vital Statistics Agency. I click on the information card. I say, once again, I'm going to ask what information will be sent. And you'll see it's everything about that person. My surname is Alice, blah, blah, blah. And I'm into the Vital Statistics Agency. And it will send my birth certificate to this address. And finally, and I think this is probably the most interesting here in some ways, now I want to go to the dating site. Well, the dating site wants to find two things. One is, you know, am I really over 21 and able to participate there? Secondly, am I really of the sex that I say I am? Now, this is a bad example because it's about to say I'm female, but I hope you'll all allow that to. So here we go. It's the same thing. We're using our actual government EID card. All right? And normally, if you use certificates or something, that would reveal everything about you. It would be a catastrophe. But if I go and I say what information will be sent to this social website, all it's sending there is my gender is female and I'm over 21. Once again, no actual way to be able to hook into the specific real-world identity of this person, just a way to guarantee that the social site can actually tell other people, yes, this really is an over 21 person and it really is a female. So, with that, I'll just close on what's actually shipping. Back to reality. Beta 1 is done. Beta 2 is now done. Second half of 2009 is the release to manufacturing. Our Microsoft Federation Gateway is done. So Microsoft really has done everything that we possibly could, you know, to bring this stuff to market, to make it possible for all the infrastructure that we're responsible for to become claims enabled. And unfortunately, I can't make specific announcements, but I'm really happy to be able to tell you that a number of our flagship products will be relying parties for these claims, so that a lot of this problem about where are the relying parties will, in my view, start to go away, and we'll start to create you know, a momentum, further momentum within the industry. And when you combine that with all of the good things that are being done by all of our competitors, cooperators, and everything else, I remain very enthusiastic and optimistic about the future of claims. Thank you very much.
Yes, well, thank you, Alice or Kim or whatever your name is. Fascinating presentation. Is this going to be part of Windows 7 or Windows 8 or 9? Or
Well, this will be shipping out of band, RTM, and then will be folded into the servers and so on.
yeah. Okay, great. Thank you very much.